I don't know if I could block Radio 4 on my van's radio, but I probably should. Now there were, I'm going to call them English politicians from the Labour and Tory party, slagging each other because Ed Miliband won't drill the North Sea and grab more oil from it, even though it's been running out since they found it. That's a bit of a double-edged thing, that, isn't it? They're not drilling it quick enough, but it's running out. It can't be both of them. So what are we looking at today? In the distance, sorry about the crap photography. Oh, they are blades from wind turbines. I'm going to tell you a few lies I've been told in my lifetime. I'll see if I can find the video and stick it up. Right, so that's wind turbine blades in distance, and that's bits of wind turbines there. Years ago I seen a video of Her Majesty the Queen, God bless her cotton socks, opening a power station in Scotland. And interestingly enough, this has got nothing to do with English people. Interestingly enough, there's a posh English accent narrating over the top of it, saying once this nuclear power station opens up, the electricity it produces will be so cheap they will not have to put a meter on it. So that's going back maybe 40 or 50 years. I did further research on it, and what it actually was a test facility for Rolls-Royce, for them to experiment with a thing called the Rolls-Royce PWR2, which I believe PWR2 stands for pressurised water reactor number 2, and I also believe they're used in nuclear submarines. So not only did we not get electricity too cheap to meter, we got hit with lots of pollution and what do you call this stuff? Environmental horseshit dumped in our country. If you go a bit further back, I think it was the 1930s, Scotland has 85% of all the hydroelectric power in this great United Kingdom, in Great Britain. The reason they built it was obvious. We have mountains, we have hills, and we have a lot of water. So building hydro in Scotland is a no-brainer. When they were building these things, they told the local communities that they would generate so much electricity. Guess what? It would be too cheap to put meters on, and the local communities would get free electricity. They were going to bring electricity to the Scottish Highlands. Guess what? That didn't happen either, did it? The real reason they built the hydroelectric was so they could smelt aluminium. Aluminium manufacturing takes an enormous amount of electricity, and 10 or 20 years later that would have come in handy when you were needing cylinder heads for aeroplane engines in World War II. So we had the nuclear power too cheap to meter that turned into an environmental catastrophe. Never gave anybody any real electricity. We had the hydroelectric that was going to give the Highlands free electricity. That didn't happen. Then in the 1970s, bump ba bump 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 ba bump bump ba. That's me humming a bass line from the OJ song called Money. I'll stick that in the link as well. Scotland discovered light, sweet Brent crude oil, the most sought after oil on the planet. It's very similar to what they've got in Texas. I think the classification in Texas is WTI, West Texas Intermediate. It's a light oil. It physically tastes sweet if you stick some in your mouth. Not that I would recommend that. It's very, very low in sulfur. It's real easy to refine, and the fractions that come from the refining process are all the expensive stuff. It's not bitumen, it's not diesel, it's all this the money gear, right? So you'd have thought in the 1970s through to the 1980s, Scotland would have had cheap energy, wouldn't you? And if you think about this one as well, in the 1970s towards the back end of the 1960s, the manufacturing base in Glasgow was absolutely enormous. Imagine having the steel making, the shipbuilding and all that cheap energy. Scotland and Glasgow's economies should have went through the roof. They should have became the single most industrious place on the planet. But what happened? All the mines shut down. Cheap coal. That was the reason the shipbuilding and the ironworks were there, along with an educated workforce and skilled tradesmen. Everything was shut down, wasn't it? Steel yards went, the shipbuilding went, everything went. So we were lied to about the hydroelectric. We were lied to about the atomic. We were lied to about the oil and gas. As I said, I just heard guys on Radio 4 saying, let's pump more of it, even though the stuff's been running out since they struck it, right? I reckon, what was it, somebody said that they've pulled about £1.7 trillion worth of oil out the North Sea, and there's at least 1.7 trillion, TRILLION, trillion pounds still to be pumped from the North Sea, right? So why did we start off with the wind turbines? Here's an interesting one for you. Scotland now produces enough renewable electricity to power 2 or 3 Scotlands, right? So it's atomic, hydro, oil and gas, and now we've got wind energy. Scotland has some of the highest energy bills in anywhere in Europe. Not only should our shipbuilding and our steel manufacturing skyrocketed in the 1970s, with all this stuff, we should be leading the world in that technology, but we don't have it, don't we know? After a generation, the welders, the platers, the designers, all these things disappear, or the skilled workforce go elsewhere to look for more work. Scotland is sitting on top of a fortune in renewable energy just from these wind turbines alone. Why are our electricity bills so high? I think it's 30 pence per kilowatt hour I'm paying in my workshop for electricity. In Norway, they've got lots of oil, gas, they've got lots of hydroelectric, they've got lots of wind turbines. It's 3 pence per kilowatt hour. How can our economy even be remotely competitive if our energy costs are as high as they are? So how am I going to finish in this? I'll tell you how I'm going to finish in this. I'm going to accuse the politicians of our country for being rubbish, out of touch idiots who are just supping at the gravy train while our businesses and our country gets crushed underfoot. And I'm going to point my finger at my fellow Scots for allowing it. We sit back, we are like an abused partner in an abusive relationship. As long as we take this, they'll keep taking it. There's a famous expression: if somebody puts their hand out and you keep putting stuff in their hand, they'll keep putting their hand out in front of you. Our country is being raped. And on that very, very cheery note, there's a few things to think about in there. We can't vote our way out of this. We need direct action from the people of the country to turn around to our politicians, hold them to account, and if need be, make their lives a misery. Send them emails. If you meet them on the street, talk to them. There's enough money to send billions upon billions of pounds into war zones. There's enough money to flatten cities. They talk about net zero and all that absolute bloody nonsense, and at the same time they're destroying cities in Ukraine with British bombs. None of it makes sense. If we say nothing about it, they're going to keep doing it. I want more from my people. I want more from my city. I want more from my country. Vote Zambo. Thank you all for watching. Bye.